Let her rip. We are not professionals. This is gonna be interesting. It was the first time that anyone has ever really wanted to spend a lot of time with my family, and that meant a lot to me. It just kind of showed me the kind of person that she was. I knew I had to marry her.
I knew Jared was the one, like, instantly. I knew that if we even, like, crossed the friendship line that we'd always walked, that, like, he would be the one that I married. And, you know, when it was finally discussed that we should be together, I knew right then that I would marry that man. And I did, so I must have been right.
My first impression of Morgan was she was just a little fireball, and I'm kind of a little more quiet. I think we're a good balance. We're a really good team. We always make each other laugh, and our relationship is just fun always.
I don't know. We met in high school, maybe even like junior. My first impression, how would have been like junior high. He was always hot. I don't know. I always like. He's always goofy though. Always like the life of the party and just so funny. You know, I think that's why I've always, after 15 years, have always had a crush on him.
So our first kiss was actually a long time ago at Cub Creek.
I think we both snuck out. Sorry, Don and Kathy.
We've always been interested in each other. We were always flirty, but we never really committed until recently.
Kind of always had like a thing for each other, but you know, high school.
There's a group of us back in high school just doing fun stuff, you know, legal stuff, drinking underage. We're out there having a really great time. So we're skinny dipping.
Did he mention the skinny dipping part, or do I leave that part out?
Morgan and I actually had our first kiss at Cub Creek in high school. Off a few, probably Mike's Hards and UV Blue, I'm not sure, but it was a time. I actually ended up getting bit by a water snake, and I thought she pinched me, but it was a snake. I could see the 2 marks and the bottom little jaw the next day. So that was probably the wildest first kiss stories that's ever been. Who said I love you first? And it was her.
It was me. It was me.
And I didn't say it back right away.
No, he took like 12 hours to say it back.
I said it the next day, and I meant it, but
I just couldn't hold it in any longer.
yeah.
I mean, I said it kind of fast.
I think it was perfect.
The proposal. I was 50-50 on if it was happening or not.
She didn't really expect it, I think.
What had tipped me off was like Jared planned something. And I was like, that's weird. He doesn't plan anything. Like, I'm the planner.
I actually planned something, which is pretty impressive.
But he'd asked about this like 6 months in advance. So I was like, nah, there's no way. And it was a hot air balloon festival. And so I was like, okay, he just like really wants to go to a hot air balloon festival. The day comes, and we had like gotten an Airbnb up in Omaha. We had a couple of friends also coming up for it. My best friend Jensen and her husband Kaylin. We're getting ready. I could tell Jared was stressed.
I was as nervous as I've ever been.
He's like, we've got to be on time. He's never on time for anything ever. So I was like, okay, that's weird. Tim and Krista Larson accidentally showed up like while we were still there. They like played it off as like, oh, we were in town for the zoo, but that's suspicious. So we go to the air balloon festival, and he is just like stressed trying to find this like special tent.
I think I picked the hottest day of the last few years, pretty sure.
It was so hot. We make it to this special tent, and they just start telling us to sign waivers. And at the time, I was just kind of like, okay, whatever. I don't even read it. I know that me of all people probably should read the legal fine print, but I was over it. So I'm just like signing, and I flip back to the front page, and it was like, air balloon passenger release form. And I was like, and so it was at that moment that I realized we were going up in an air balloon. And at that, I was like, yeah, I'm getting engaged today.
I actually proposed right before we went up in the air balloon ride.
Krista was like, oh, wait, hold on, let me take a photo quick. And I turn around and he's down on one knee, and I was like, ah. So yeah, I obviously said yes, and we went up in an air balloon.
Luckily, she didn't kick me out of the thing.
We're like clear up in the air, and he's like, oh, look, and there's these like little blobs waving. I'm blind as hell. And so I'm like, who's that? And he's like, it's your entire family. And I was like, oh. It ended up being a pretty good day until our baby dog Jet, he ended up escaping the Airbnb in Omaha and ran away.
Jet, come here. Your time to shine. So Jet, he likes to steal the show, basically.
And we could not find him. And so we spent our first night as an engaged couple, mind you, on the hottest day of the year, running the streets of Elkhorn, just searching for Jet. And I kept it together like pretty well. At about 3 a.m, I come back to the Airbnb, met Jared back there. I am just like, I'm drenched in sweat. I am the most disgusting I've ever been in my life. And I just like lose it. I'm crying, and it was not pretty. And I, in between my sobs, I'm like, you want to marry this? And I laugh now, but at the time it was a very traumatic night. But we ended up finding him at like 2 p.m. the next day.
We spent like 12 hours searching for him up and down the streets of Omaha. We found him somehow.
I feel bad for Jared that he spent all that time and planning for it to be ruined by Jet. But you know, it made for a good story. We found him, and we went through like the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, like all within our very first day of being engaged. And in a way I was like, you know what, like at least I can handle like anything that gets thrown at me. Like Jared and I handled it relatively well. I think it was ultimately a pretty good test right off the bat for our future marriage. We threw it together in 3 days. I think a lot of people thought I was pregnant, but turns out we're just insane. And on a Saturday, we went and looked at a house, fell in love with it, put an offer in. They counter-offered. We accepted the counter-offer on Sunday. We knew when we put an offer in on the house that we'd have to be married because we used a VA loan. And so we called his sister who lives in Wisconsin, and we're like, hey, are you going to be back in Nebraska in the next, 30 days? And her answer was, yeah, we'll actually be back on Friday. And I was like,
So we're doing the thing.
okay.
We're doing it.
So we planned our wedding in those 3 days, and honestly, like, it couldn't have gone better. Rush ordered a dress from Abercrombie. Thankfully it fit. I think it showed up either Saturday morning or Friday night. He just wore what was in his closet. I was like, hey, super casual. Jared and I are gonna get married on Saturday. If you could show up, like if you're free, that'd be great. If not, like, no worries. It's just marriage. Yeah.
It was a good time. We had dinner at Endicott.
We woke up that Saturday morning. It was just a very casual morning, had our coffee together, went to my mom's house, and we dyed Easter eggs with my nephew, Oliver. We finished around like noon, and we're like, oh, well, we should probably figure out where we're doing this thing. And so we went out into we grew up on four-wheeler trails, and we went out and picked a spot, threw up an arch.
And it was perfect. My sister was ordained the night before the wedding, and she did great. I was super nervous, and there was like 10 people there, and I messed it up. But
I don't think you messed.
Well,
did you mess it up?
the wordage was a little iffy, but I got through it.
I think the whole thing lasted about 7 minutes. Quickest wedding ever. We loved it.
Yeah.
I hope Megan was properly ordained. What's one thing that we'll never agree on?
Eating a plain tortilla. That ain't right. And she does it. And she defends it.
You've never just have a plain tortilla like as a snack. A tortilla is a snack. You fold it into like fours, and then you eat it like a little pizza. And then
It's not normal.
No, it doesn't need anything. It is normal. Ask the people.
Eat it with cheese.
The
I don't
people
know.
need to tell us if it's weird or not.
Just put a bunch of cheese in there.
No, you just eat it plain.
It's a quesadilla.
No. The most annoying habit that you have is when I tell you that we need to like be out the door at noon, and then he'll like get in the shower at 11:50. And granted, like he's out of the shower by 11:55, dressed and ready, but then he forgets that we have to feed the dog, pack the coolers, do this, this. And then when I'm sitting in the car like waiting for him, he knows that it's bad when I'm in the car waiting. And then he'll be like, "Well, you forgot that I had to do this, and this." The second most annoying thing is like when I'm trying to be mad at him, like after he makes us late somewhere.
Not possible.
Like I try to have like a little bit of an attitude, and then you'll just like make me laugh. You'll just get in the car and do something just completely out of left field.
What I love the most is just trying to get a laugh out of her, and I think I do that
All the time.
as good
Even
as
when I don't want to laugh. You can only choose one.
the most annoying thing. I don't know. It's just you got your nest, and you are a little pack rat in there.
You better explain what my nest is.
Well, the couch is her nest, and she's got her heated blanket and her snacks, and she's just, when she's done, she just throws the bag at me and then gets mad that I don't close the bag.
That annoying. That's my
gotta
most
be,
annoying
that's gotta
habit.
be it, yeah.
Ooh. Who's the better cook? Obviously.
She doesn't cook. She can, but she doesn't.
Don't lie to the people. What can I cook?
You
I've made him one crock pot meal, and turns out he told me like a month ago that he doesn't even like white chicken chili, and that was
It's
the
overrated.
one.
It's overrated.
Cut the camera. Who's more likely to forget an anniversary?
Me. Yeah, my memory's awful.
We're 6 days out from the little shindig.
Have a little sip.
This is how we're feeling.
Have a little Tito's.
Feeling fine. Finally booked a caterer like 2 weeks ago. The band like 2 weeks ago.
It's gonna be a good time.
Hope you guys like breakfast food.
Breakfast. And live music.
I hope that you guys are all ready to party. All right, we just wanted to quickly thank my parents and Darren and Jared's parents and, you know, all of our friends and family for celebrating with us and being a part of, you know, getting us here to this day. So.
Yeah, I want to say a big thanks to all of our friends and family for being there and kind of shaping us into who we are today. I love the person that Morgan is, and I am as happy as I could ever be, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you.
Oh.
Perfect. I think we're good. Let's go.
This is a story all about how.
You don't annoy
sunshine
me too
coming
bad.
out.
Oh yeah, look at that. Good lighting. Maybe we should be looking that way.
No. I'm actually really annoyed at those kids. The parents told them to come over here. There's no way. There's a side-by-side coming.
Oh, I am not good at this.
And the kids are f***ing creeping up on me. Get in the Jeep.